Hey, everybody, how's it going? I hope you had an awesome Sunday. Here in Maryland, it was absolutely beautiful weather. Today, I want to talk to you about the first part is a quick synopsis of the toolbox fallacy so that it's a lead in for what I call the full toolbox fear. And hang on tight, and you'll catch on to this real quick. Some of you may be familiar with the idea of the toolbox fallacy. This is the idea that you can't do or accomplish something that you want. There's a problem with getting something, doing something, achieving something, and there's an object or a thing or a person or something that you need in order to make that happen. In other words, one day I will be really happy if, and this is the problem because I don't have this, I don't have a boyfriend, girlfriend, husband, wife, children, house, home, car, all of these things that we line up, that we have these things, we'll be able to do this. The idea is much like a toolbox. We think that if we have the right tool, we will be able to accomplish something. And then we use this as a premise to say, and since I don't have that tool, I cannot be this thing. I can't be happy because I don't have this tool. Once I have this tool, then that's going to solve all my problems. I'm going to be, uh, you know, pick something, some career goal that you have or some financial goal that you have. I'll save money once I have this great job. And where the fallacy comes in is a lot of these things that you place at the end can be accomplished without that tool. Admittedly, sometimes it's better to have the right tool to make the job easier. The thing is we tend to spend all this time not accomplishing something or not becoming something because we figure we don't have the right tool to do it. And one of those is well, I'll be satisfied when these things occur. And satisfaction is a choice that you can make without these things. Being happy is something you can accomplish without these things. Even when it comes to doing other things in your life that you want to do, saving money, buying a home, there are certain problems to overcome. They are not obstacles that are insurmountable. And a lot of times, just surmounting the obstacle may make it easier, but you can still accomplish it. You can be happy with what you have. There's nothing wrong with wanting more. Placing everything on that one tool is a problem. And here's where it leads into what I really want to talk about, which is what I call the full toolbox fear. If you've already decided that you are not happy or satisfied because you don't have these tools, could it be possible there's a fear that if one day you find you have these tools and you're still not happy, that's a scary place to be. Now follow this. You finally get those things. You get that car. You get that soulmate. You get that perfect wedding in Tahiti or whatever it is you think you got to have. You get this bunch of money saved up. You accomplish these goals, and then you look around and go, "Oh wow, I'm still not happy." And perhaps somewhere deep down in your subconscious mind, you're looking around going, you know, if I ever get these things and I'm not happy, then that means that they weren't preventing me the way that I wanted to say they were from being happy. Maybe, just maybe, part of where I'm at isn't a matter of having those items that I have basically deceived myself for years and years, sometimes for a lifetime. And then that's a scary place to be because then it means that you have deliberately avoided being happy or content or satisfied when you could have made that choice to be that way a long time ago. Now you have to deal with the idea that you've got the items and you're still not where you want it to be. And that can be a fear. That can lead to self-sabotage. I mean, think about it. If you set it up in your mind that you will not be satisfied until you get this item, this house, this job, this thing, maybe if you self sabotage and you never get the item, it gives you a good way of saying, and this is why I'm never happy and can't be happy and won't be happy. This is why I can't be satisfied. Now, these are the kinds of feelings and emotions that come through choice. Do not take me wrong and think that I'm saying that all anxiety and depression are totally choice. You do have some say in the matters. You can make a difference in your life. You can change the levels at which you are feeling things. When you feel that you can't do that, you have placed yourself in what I've discussed in another video is this external locus of control that objects, people outside of me control everything and I don't control anything, which is a very sad place to be because then you become very helpless. It does provide temporary relief because then you can blame. And in the case of the full toolbox, that fear of having those things fulfilled that you said were stepping stones to what you wanted. Well, if you're still not there, you're still not satisfied, that causes a lot of anxiety and worry in you and a lot of reality that you have to either face or cover up. So, just on the one hand, you can have the toolbox fallacy of, I can't be whatever it is I want to be because I don't have these things. Then you have the other end of it where I've accomplished these things and I'm still not happy and something's missing. Now, for some people, accomplishing these things and then realizing that allows them to have a greater epiphany, a greater realization, and go, ah, maybe those things weren't the problem. And the problem all along was my choice. Because a lot of things in your life, you do have power to choose, whether you will or won't feel a certain way. You can remain angry, and that's a choice, or you can get over it, and that's a choice. It's very easy to want to blame everybody else or everything else or something and say, it's not under my control. A lot of it is under your control. The same way with certain feelings of anxiety and depression. You may not be able to control the biological factor in some cases. You can control other aspects of it. And even if it's only a very small part, controlling that and accepting responsibility for the choices that you have made and that you are making now allows you then to make better choices in the future. The other problem that comes with this is what's called overthinking. One of the discussions that I've had this week was with somebody who kept saying, I'm going to think about this. And my question was, well, while you're thinking about that, can you be doing something? It's kind of like saying, I'm going to clean the kitchen and then I'm going to think about the best way to do it. And then 8 hours later, you're still sitting there thinking about how to clean the kitchen and the kitchen has not been cleaned. Why not get things in motion and start cleaning the kitchen while you're thinking of a better way to do it? I mean, you can put a few minutes into thinking about, oh, would this be better to do this first? Should I move this? Should I do that? At some point, though, actions get you into thinking and doing differently. So if you also have the feeling that you're trying to think why you're doing something or what's the best way to go about it in order to achieve the results, can you get your butt up off the couch and start doing some things to deal with it? If you're having a problem with anxiety and you're trying to figure out, well, what's causing the anxiety and what can I do so that I don't have this problem come up? While you're doing that, can you do some of the deep breathing exercises? Can you get up and go for a walk? Can you do some things around the house to help you deal with the anxiety while you're thinking through? Or same way as if you're depressed, do some things to take the edge off. You may not be able to solve all of your problems, but you start to solve some. And everything that you get moved off of that to do list means that's one less thing you have to worry and think about. So there's a lot going on here about realizing and accepting responsibility in your life. And this is what this comes down to. The toolbox fallacy allows you to skip out of responsibility. And then if you use that, you can also then stop yourself from achieving the full toolbox when the opportunity arrives so that you can say, well, that's why I never achieved the big goal is because, I didn't have these little things met that I needed to do. And all along, you were the one pushing them out and not doing them. Or worse yet, you sit in a corner and overthink to the point of where you don't do anything. Life is about balance, the middle path. Think some and do some. Do things, analyze the results, then go, that didn't work. Let's try something different. Sometimes it's about doing different things and seeing what works and what doesn't work. And the things that work, you keep doing them. Things that don't work, you put it over the side and say, well, for some reason that didn't work. Maybe there's something else I need to do to add to it. Maybe it was how I did it. I just know for now doing it that way didn't work this time. Let's do something different. Okay. So you have something to think about. Are you playing the toolbox fallacy on yourself and delaying doing things because of other things you need to accomplish those goals? Are you also deliberately keeping your toolbox empty so you have a reason not to accomplish? Or better yet, a reason to find out that you could have already accomplished it. You just didn't want to come to terms with that. Or maybe you realized that those things you thought you had to have, you don't have to have. They're not making the difference. You are making the difference in your life. You personally, when you start to accept responsibility for that and doing what you can do to change your life will change for the better. That is a promise. Doing nothing, standing on the sideline, thinking until the cows come home, they're probably not going to get you where you want to be. Action, commitment, perseverance, observation, analyzing what you did, adjusting, that gets you where you want to be. So I hope you have a great Sunday, and I will talk to you again later. Mull those things over in your mind. Pull back and take a little neutral stance. Use some of those good meditation techniques we've been talking about where you actually sit. And if you're going to think about it, then while you're sitting and thinking about it, do your meditation. Breathe in, breathe out, focus on the breathing, and see what comes to mind. Relax. Okay. Y'all have a great day, and I'll talk to you later now. Bye bye.